another loss. The selection table. We love it. We have a few outs. I will let you know. We have a late out for an undescribed reason from our big sponsor, Nick Horsburgh. He has had some incredibly important business to attend to. And Ian returns next week. Finally, the debut. We have him down. But joining me as always is two guys you know, but returning from a long-time sabbatical. It's hard to get him now because it's like getting a Carlton footballer. You've got to fill out a stat deck, promise you won't swear, don't make any jokes about current affairs. So Desi Freeman's off limits this week for me, which is a nightmare. But joining me, SEN Zone, former man of the Jumper Punch, former man of this channel, everyone's favourite, Paul Sebastiani, mate. Welcome.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we all? Hello, audience. What's going on?
Good, mate.
Welcome
good.
back,
Hey,
mate.
we haven't seen you for ages. It feels weird, this. It's like old times, isn't it, like?
Good to be back.
It's good. We can throw some shade. And I'm sure Paolo won't be pulling any punches today either, which is
Never
great.
Never do.
Well, we've got Paul back. It's a little bit like Carlton. I've wheeled out Sticks Kernahan to get the vibes back. I've wheeled out Paolo. So be prepared for the PR spin. But joining me, OG, he's our own Patrick Cripps, Mr. LekDog. How are you, Lek?
I'm all right, mate. I'm still in temporary office situation. I'm actually using my partner's makeup stand as a light. We'll be in the big office next week, I hope. I just need internet put into this goddamn house.
There's been more background changes than you than Voss's game plans.
Well, to be fair, 2 would be more changes than Vossi's game plan. So,
but good to have you back. I do miss the Victorian background that you've been rocking. And then joining me, our newest guy, our very own Jagger Smith, the big Jag Smith. We've got the man that has not only completed TikTok, completed Instagram, rumoured to be 50% of his way through Tinder, but dominating YouTube. I've got Atouche, OnlyCarlton. How are you, mate?
I'm living the dream, Pommy. I said this last week as well. Where else would you want to be on a Wednesday, 7 p.m? Nowhere else.
What I've got to say, it's getting harder to get motivated for this show. Let's be honest.
Hey, today I was so hyped. I was hyped for today because I'm like, you know what? Whole team's getting dropped. So
I've got to say, I've probably got like 4 more losses before like I start pretending to have like functions that I have to go to. So that's my limit. However, I have got some breaking news actually. Mitch Cleary is currently reporting that there is a board push at Carlton. Board push. And also, he's actually released an image of the miscreant doing it as well. Look. Oh, here we are. That's why he's not here, the dirty dog. Nick Horsburgh, Carlton president.
He's launching a coup. He's going to overthrow. He's going to overthrow Priestley.
He's launched a coup. I've got a chance to be the senior coach here because I'm his best mate. But anyway, there's my April Fools for you. I did like that there was a few people there just panicking in the chat. Like they could be like, oh no, it's happening. But we start as we always do. We will show you our teams. And then Mr. Paul will get to see the new super duper voting system. But because we've got a returning legend of the game, take us through it, Paul. Here he is. Paul has gone hard here, and we love to see it.
I have. I've channeled my inner hacksaw Jim Duggan, as you and I quite rightly pointed out today, Pommy. And, well, I mean, we do. Is that my team?
That looks like my team, to be honest with you. I was going to say, you might be a genius, mate.
No, that's still not what. No.
Tell you what, you keep talking about it, and I'll see whatever Pom's done. But here we are. I can make a on the fly change. You keep talking.
I thought I was a genius for a second there, Paul.
Now, if geez, we're going swimmingly well here, just going like our second halves are at the moment.
But I'm screwing it up.
You've been thrown a curveball though, Pommy, but you're going to fix it.
How good would it be if I did a Carlton now and just logged out? Left you go.
That'd be about right. Actually, while you do that, I need to, and I promised people I was going to come up with a different background because I'm in a makeshift studio at the moment as well. So what I thought I might do, if I can potentially get it as my background here. We're doing things on the fly, but this people will definitely appreciate this. I think they will. Let's see if we can change this virtual background. Hold on a moment. Here we go.
This is some great vamping from Paolo there. This is
Here we go.
Hey, look, Paul's learned how to kill time.
There we go. Thanks for Jim Duggan.
Here we are, Paul.
He's going to remain the background until the end of this very, very.
It should be all fixed now, mate. There it is.
All right. Can we change it?
Is that changed on your screen?
No, not on mine.
Not on mine. It's all right. This show's great. I love it. It's all right. 2 weeks ago, we had 40 minutes of echoing, so this is a vast improvement.
Has that changed?
No.
Not on my end. There we go.
Hang on. Wait,
now it's gone.
Wait. No. Hold on.
There you are. I'm changing it. There you are. It should be. Can someone let me go full screen, please? Here we are. Right. If it goes full screen now, you should see it. So you should see. There we are. There you are.
It's not mine. It's still not mine.
There you are.
That is mine. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
There we go.
We got there eventually. Well done. Well done. Okay. So, in Newman, Sard, Haynes, Flynn Young, Ben Camporelli, Adam Chera. Out. Lewis Young, Harry Dean, for obvious reasons. Campbell Chesser, Hudson O'Keefe, Brodie Kemp, George Hewitt. Fire away.
Mate, I love it.
Well, you want things to change on the field, you need to change the personnel and the profile of the squad, and this completely changes it.
Well, I'll say this. I don't think Hewitt's going to be available for selection for chat this week, so I reckon a couple of teams might have dropped him. I think it's is it a performance thing on Hewitt for you, Paolo, or is it a structural decision that needs to be made?
Both.
Bang.
Tell you what, these are direct answers. I like it. I wish Voss was this direct. I wish like it. So Paul, like based on your VFL, I know you watch it. You're an avid fan.
I was there. Yep.
What did you see this week in the VFL? Like it was slim pickings, wasn't it? If we're honest, but are you of the school now that just keeping these players in the seniors is the wrong message? And even if the VFL guys aren't killing it, getting them in to basically give these players a message?
Okay. Now, what I've tried to do here and what I actually have done is forget about what Michael Voss would do. Okay?
I think that's how
I've tried to approach this, right? Now, based on what he has done and said in the press conference, I think everybody can expect change and at least senior name change heading into this game on Friday. If there's not, and I believe it to be true anyway, irrespective of what happens at team selection, then our head coach is not serious. And every single press conference he does, which I believe so anyway at the moment, is just a facade and disingenuous. So what I saw in the VFL and what I saw in the AFL team there needs to be change in the AFL team now, because for far too long we've had the senior players down back and through this midfield that just continue to make the same mistakes, and nothing's going to change because a lot of those players just keep making the same mistakes, and most of them have hit ceilings, or they're not ready for what's to come, or they were just completely mismatched and their capacity against their opposition players was just not good enough. So Hudson O'Keefe was never going to match Max Gordon. And Hudson O'Keefe had been trained as a forward for effectively the whole preseason. And the genius that our coaching panel is thought, well, let's put Hudson O'Keefe against the best ruckman that's arguably ever played the game and see if he can pinch hit for about 15 minutes. Well, that clearly didn't work and was never going to work. Might be a good game to keep him in for this match, but I just feel that will go too tall. Chess is just not good enough at the moment. I'd like to see Chera come in and rotate with him on the wing and potentially a midfielder as well. So I think Chera will get midfield minutes, but given the fact he's come off a hamstring, I suspect he'll be given limited midfield time. I really like what Ben Camporelli did in the VFL, more purely just based on a positioning point of view with regards to him winning the ball around stoppage. I thought he positioned his body really well. He found space really well around the stoppage. Granted, it was against Williamstown, and they are a VFL team, and it is under VFL intensity. But let's be fair dinkum, gentlemen. We need to move on from players like George Hewitt. And if Ben Camporelli is going to play a similar role to him, hopefully in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we really need to start blooding a player like him. I thought Flynn Young was good as well. I think he brings a different profile to that half-forward line. Much has been made of our horrendous ball movement, and he may be a little slower than what we expect at AFL level. I think he does take time to wheel and go on that left boot. But we just need someone to pierce the lines. Haynes is an obvious in for Harry Dean. Newman comes in, I think, for Lewis Young just to really make that backline a little bit more balanced. I think with Wiedering back there and Haynes coming in, I genuinely think it's tall enough, gentlemen. How many teams play 3 talls in their backline? Not many. And that backline was just not dynamic enough over the first 3 rounds. And I think Adam Saad will come in. He did play limited minutes, and I do think we need his run and dash. And I'm not picking him based on form. I'm picking him based on profile. Brodie Kemp was absolutely horrendous on Sunday afternoon and doesn't deserve to play for at least a fortnight. He was a dead set ferret on Sunday. He got bullied out of every single contest he was in. He showed nothing at full forward. And from a profile perspective, you might keep him in the team. But by golly, you got to buy into something, mate. He was dead set horrible on Sunday and needs to be dropped.
Mate, fair calls. Some questions coming in from here. First one, Slobber. Harry McKay, breaking news, getting the... Oh, no.
Thank you.
Dear, do not Google that if you don't know what that is, please.
You nearly got caught out there, Pommy.
Please, Christ. Hawk is terrible. Tatum probably agrees with you here. He's gone bold. He's dropped half a list. Don't mind it. Where is some of the big questions? What do you feel on Ashton Moyer? A lot of people asking about him. He's been quite disappointing in the 2 weeks he's played in the VFL. Where are you seeing him, Paul?
Ball in hand, he's great. Soft in the head at the moment. Lacks the temperament to be a consistent footballer at the elite level, and he needs to stop watching maths.
Mate, couldn't agree more.
He's immature at the moment. That's his biggest issue.
Well, you see, that was my issue this week. I thought Kemp... You know how he's playing, Paul? He's playing knowing that Kemp will get dropped. So he's just got to stay fit. He's not playing to displace Kemp. He's playing knowing Kemp will get dropped.
And that's a plague in our team at the moment. It's we play not to lose, and that is an epitome of what you just said, R.E. Moyer.
Mate, it's scary. Sean, our Collingwood friend, asked, do you think the coaching board needs to change to see improvements, or do you think team changes could get the dub, Paul?
All of it. I will say, though, I don't think this head coach gets... I don't think he gets the most out of this particular list. However misprofiled and imbalanced it is, swaying towards contested ball and the way in which we play our game. But I don't think he gets enough out of. I don't think he gets enough out of these players.
Mate,
he doesn't.
It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one at this
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Or if the only thing you had to do in a second half to win flags was fight and fight harder and show more effort, maybe we'd be miles ahead of everybody. But it's got to be more nuanced than that. You got to be more nuanced than that. I think this team kind of brings a little bit more control, irrespective of what Michael Voss thinks about control. It just inadvertently does it. Newman's a nice ball user to a certain point.
He's a better defender than people think as well, Newman.
Yeah. I think we really have missed him, and I just think Adam Chera brings a better balance to the midfield. I don't really rate him that highly as a footballer, but I just think with Hewitt and Cripps in there and the way we're playing at the moment, I think Chera is better offensively than what Hewitt is, and I think defensively is not as great as Hewitt. But what we may miss out defensively from Hewitt, we'll probably get 80% of that from Chera, and we get better offensive output, I think, from Chera. In fact, I know we get better offensive output from Chera.
Mate, do you think Sard's ready? He didn't play the full game last week, but I mean, you'd imagine he keeps himself fairly healthy.
Wasn't out. Well, he did the whole preseason effectively and was only out for not even a fortnight. And I get a feeling that because they did have the 5-day backup, they were really holding him back for this particular fixture.
And no Dirksen. Are you a fan of Dirk?
Yeah, don't mind him. Didn't do enough, I don't think, to warrant a pick in the senior team this week, just given the names that are ready to come back and the fact that I just don't like three talls. Just Haynes is better than him, Wiedering is better than him, and then I want medium and smalls after that.
You know what? It turns me on that you've come back and you've nuked the place.
I just think this should be the balance of the team anyway. And look, again, it's based on availability too, but that's just how I see it. And I think this team that I've selected will perform a lot better than what we've seen in the first 3 weeks. It has to, because the personnel changes. And I think we get better players in, aside from losing Harry Dean. I think we get better players in.
Can I just say, comment of the year? Brilliant, Brian. I got a lot of time for that, mate.
I must say, I will admit, my guilty pleasure is maths at the moment, but I perform in my workplace, gentlemen.
Mate, I'm with you, mate. I love it. Absolutely love it. You're going to see a lot of changes. Here's Team Pommy. You know what?
Yeah. If I got the axe, Pommy, you got the bloody, I don't know what you got, mate. You got the submachine gun out, mate.
Well, look, I just literally, I was in a bit of a low place this week, I'll be honest. I found myself going through Jacinta Allen's LinkedIn and reading the Anarchist Cookbook. And I was in a dark place.
You find a couple of billion that got lost, did you? Oh.
I was in a dark place. I was in a fucking dark place. But I thought I'd take it out on these teams. So you'll see my changes. Nick Newman on the wing. That was one thing in the VFL this week. Turned me on. Seeing Nick Newman. It's the only thing David Teague ever did for me. Nick Newman on the wing versus the Eagles. Best thing I've ever seen. And Carroll. I want to see two wingers that don't play defensive. They just get the game going forward, keeping their width. Love that. Durka comes in. I like Durka. Good, honest footballer. And I just want someone to lock down. Haynes comes back. I'm putting him in the central position. Then see Ashton Moyer and my umbrage with him. 2 games I've seen so far in the VFL this year. Ison has stood out, worked hard up the ground, linked up, never stopped running, chased back. And I want to send a message to Ashton. We're not about waiting until someone gets dropped. You've got to earn that position. And I want to see Ison. I want Ashton to go back and be like, you know what? I'm not second in. Cherry's a no-brainer. Boyd, I want someone who can kick. If I see Wiedering handball out the back to a Lewis Young or someone that can't kick, or Ollie Hollands being the primary exit, I might actually drink rat poison. Flynn Lloyd being the best. Flynn Lloyd being the best player in the VFL for ever since he's been there. I'm shocked he's not in. So that means Kemp out of the team. Hewitt, I'm just going to warn anyone. If anyone says in the chat he won the BNF last year, Paul,
Oh, please don't stop.
I'm going to mute you for 24 hours.
Enough.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Because that's not a reason to keep him in. Cheshire and Ollie Hollands back to the VFL. I need one of them to work hard. Young, it's harsh. I agree with Paul. You can't go in too tall. I've given Hudson the stay of execution as the second ruckman on the proviso that Mr. Old School Callum Coleman-Jones is their ruck, and rumours are Taylor Gold is playing, so he's going to be up against an amateur. Dean, obviously injured. Ollie Hollands, I can't do it anymore. I'm his number one fan, but genuinely I can't. And Lockie Cowan, my brain doesn't quite comprehend anymore. I don't understand how he's got worse legs, how he's got leg tattoos and got worse. My brain doesn't comprehend that. So I can't do it. So that is my team, chat. Basically, it's quite simple. I've brought out the underperforming players. I want to send a message. For me, it has to be an over 25-year-old has to get dropped. So Hewitt, unfortunately, gets dropped because I don't like the captain being dropped. And Chera comes in as he's a better ball user than Hewitt and can play multiple roles, where unfortunately Hewitt can't. And Hewitt is my best friend. I love him, but I want to send a message. So, chat, ask your questions. I'll start with you, Atouche. You've been quiet today, which scares me.
Scares me too.
Hey, I feel like I've underperformed picking my team. You guys have really blown up the team. I didn't make this many changes. So, I guess my first question is Jack Eisen. Where do you see Jack Eisen playing?
Jack Eisen, so he's playing that third high up the ground, higher forward role. So look, I want him to play that role where he's up the ground. Mackay's staying in the goal square. I've picked a team that I want, so Mackay never leaves the goal square in my teams. So he can work up the ground, be the link man. Elijah did a good job last week. And I just want him to have a little bit of fun. Saw him flirt with the wing as well this week. And you'll notice I've dropped two wingers, kept a winger and a new winger in Newman, but that's given me the extra rotation to play an extra runner. So I want to see that. Yep.
I've got another question. Will Hayward, right? Do you reckon he's lucky to stay in? Did you think about dropping Will Hayward?
To be honest, I was trying to find a way of dropping 23 players and bringing 23 in. And, I mean, the bad thing is these guys did lose to a team made up of people who work at Ozpost at the weekend, their VFL, so it was quite hard to justify them as the amount of people I've brought in, to be honest. But yeah, I was a little bit different to Paul. I didn't want to see Sard again. I thought Sard, even in the times he played, I saw what I saw in the AFL. So, you know me, I'm quite harsh. Halfback is the easiest role to play in the AFL. 19-year-olds play it to an accomplishment. So, I'm quite happy with the smalls we've got there. I didn't really feel even bringing him in.
Yep, fair, good team.
How, Pommy? I've been, and it's probably been a flaw of mine. I think everybody as fans, it might be, but how have you gone about when you're doing your team selection this year? And this is for all of you. How have you gone about the profile of the team rather than just looking at pure form? Because that's something I've really tried to formulate when doing my analysis and trying to predict the way in which I think we can be better served game by game. It feels as though we misprofile a lot of our players, and sometimes profiles actually lead you into form rather than form leading you into form, if that makes sense. Because each game is its own puzzle, isn't it?
Well, I mean, Paolo, Paul, and I'm assuming everyone can still hear me because I have no visuals.
You're
I
loud
only
and
have
clear,
audio.
mate. Loud and clear.
I think fundamentally the club trains and plays the players that have been drafted for a specific reason in the wrong place. I try to address that. I try to put players in the places they're supposed to go when I build a team. I do sometimes get influenced by like, well, is there any point making this change when they're not actually going to make it? But functionally, generally, when I'm making a team, it's based on where I think the players should actually play and where modern football's played. And then on the flip side, I also throw in a few smokies just to give chat some exciting votes to make.
Right. Okay. So why do you?
I'm not playing Lockie Cowan as a fucking lockdown whatever. I'm playing him higher up the ground and in theory using his kicking, although he hasn't hit a fucking target yet this year.
So do you? I don't know if you boys, and I'll get you in on this, Atush, as well. I mean, when you look at the team and you look at the positions that we've drafted particular players from in the draft, I know not everybody is going to play the role that they played in under 18s or the role that they've played in, VFL if they've come through that particular path. They're not all going to play those particular roles in the AFL system. However, it just feels, and this is me maybe spitballing to a certain point, that we just seem to square pegs round hole it way more often than what other clubs do. Do you boys feel that? I don't know if you see that, Atush, when you watch the way we pick teams. It just feels as though that's been a big reason as to why we don't see the team perform consistently.
No, for sure. For sure. My biggest example is Ollie Hollands off halfback. Like, he's not a halfback. Like, we played him, bro, as a lockdown halfback on Cozzy Pickett on Sunday. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's that, right? It's Brody Kemp. We drafted Brody Kemp as a midfielder. He was an inside mid when he came into the system, right?
Don't start, Pom.
Right? He was an inside mid.
He did play key position for most of it. There was a patch where he did play mid and people sort of got, Pom's going to rev up about that.
Yeah.
That's where it gets taught. That's where it gets taught.
So it's that, and then we played him as a backman. And as a backman, he averaged around 15, 16 touches, 6 intercepts, 5-6 marks a game. Like, he was a decent backman. But then we chucked him forward, and Brody Kemp's one of the worst forwards I've ever seen in my life. He just isn't a forward.
He kicked 5 goals that one time against West
Coast
or whatever.
That is very true. Him and Matt Kennedy.
And that's the fucking problem. It's like always everyone remembers that one game and evidently it gives you a 20. Honestly, the way we explain Carlton's decisions, when you get someone who's like a mass murderer and they interview the mum, and the mum's like, oh, but he was a lovely boy. He used to collect Pokemon cards and he used to go fishing down the lake and give it to our next door neighbour. And it's like, he's killed 43 people. You know what I mean? Don't care he did fishing with the elderly. Like, that's how it feels. But to answer your question, Paul, when you've got me going here, I've picked a team trying to get Voss what he wants to do. So the guys I've dropped either have incredibly low football IQ or incredibly low skills to do the job that Voss is doing. And his job is a high-maintenance, high-kicking skill system for players that evidently can't kick. So I've literally gone through the list and gone, right, can I fabricate it? Boyd is the best kick. Flynn Young is the best kick. Chera, unlike Hewitt, can play 3 different roles, so at least we've got versatility. Ison, elite kick. Nick Haynes doesn't shit himself when he sees someone in the opposite colours. Dirksen, guy's hungry. The guy has literally driven 9 hours to come on a list when he's got 3 kids and he needed to get a job. So he's going to give me something. And Nick Newman has got a brain, thank Christ. So what I've tried to do is give Voss the tools to somehow play his Mickey Mouse game plan. Like, somehow. I've tried to help him and said, maybe this will work. If this doesn't work, change your game plan.
I thought we had changed the game plan.
That's the biggest hoax I've ever heard in my life. The whole game plan changing thing it's faker than the moon landing. Like, it's not real. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed, bro. It hasn't, bro. We're just moving the ball quicker, but with no real direction. Like, okay, you want to move the ball quicker? Sick. All 18 teams in the comp are moving the ball quicker this year.
Yeah.
So
there was a big worry of mine in the preseason when they just kept referencing speed. I'm like, well, isn't that just part of any elite sport? Why is that even a focus?
It's like that in contest, hard ball wins. I'm like, doesn't everyone try to win the ball? Isn't that a fucking prerequisite of football?
I think Paul, you I think you summarised it when you were doing your team selection to answer your original question, and it's like it's Hudson O'Keefe being trained as a full forward and then being at the last minute put up against the best ruckman of our generation. It's that that happens with 20 players on our list every year, and we shit the bed after one small scare, and we go, "Oh, he's a defender now," and where he has half a good quarter as on the wing, and we go, "Well, there's our winger." Fucking done.
To me,
just shit.
To me, you're just doing Hudson O'Keefe a big disservice there, and it goes back to the Ollie Hollands idea as well. And I don't want to harp on about Ollie because he's one of my favourites, obviously. But have you ever seen Ollie Hollands miss a shot on the run?
Well, I mean,
I can't picture him having a shot on the run, but I'm assuming he's got evidence
on the run, mate. So why are we not getting him ahead of the ball? Do you remember?
You know what kills me, Paul, is I have a text exchange from an actual list manager,
right,
who works with a very good academy. Let's put it that way. And I have it in text writing that a guy that went 2 picks after him, Jasper Fletcher, he quote said, "I really hope Jasper Fletcher bombs," because he was like, "I wish Ollie Hollands was in the Brisbane academy." He was like, because he's exactly the kind of player that will change Brisbane and make them untouchable. So he was talking about, I wish we had Jasper Fletcher, and he just missed out on the ability to try and recruit him. Fletcher obviously is, you'd say now Fletcher's gone ahead of Ollie Hollands, but what you just said there, ironed on. He was known for his overlap run, being attacking, bringing people in, and he looks like a shell of who he was last year. In this draft year, like I don't recognize him. When I watch Ollie play now, I can't remember him ever being like that.
And do you remember there was a passage of play early in his career where he hit a left foot dart 40 meters to, it was on the broadcast side wing at Marvel Stadium. Cannot remember who it was against, but it was one of the most glorious passes and passages of play I've ever seen, really. And Ollie Hollands does exactly what we want him to do. He does exactly what every fan wants him to do. Overlap handball, run ahead of the ball. You know who doesn't do it? The 15, 16 other blokes that he's playing with. And when you don't have that and you have no one on the same wavelength of a player who's got the ball like that, who gets it 20, 23 times, of course he's going to turn the ball over because no one's on the same page as him.
I was going to touch on that a bit before, Paul, when you were talking about Hewitt only going backwards. He doesn't push the ball forwards. That's fine in a team that has the overlap run and has the players doing that, but we just don't have it. So when Hewitt was looking fucking awesome when we recruited him, when we were winning some games, it's because we're like, look at him. Look how clever he is. He doesn't take on too much. He just chips it out the back and finds someone. But now we don't have anyone overlapping, and when they do, as you said, who are they kicking it to?
It's come as no shock, and I know I'm rambling on here, gents, but it comes as no shock that as soon as George Hewitt has started to get 30, 35 touches a game, that our midfield and our form and the way in which we move the ball out of stoppage and whatnot has completely capitulated. And there is an issue there now where I would compare George Hewitt to a similar player at Geelong. So he's probably our Tom Atkins. And Tom Atkins operates so well in that Geelong system. I think Tom Atkins is a better footballer. I think he moves a little freer than George Hewitt, but they're similar profiles to a point, right? High tackle volume, good defensive linchpins in the midfield. They do the bulk of the work to help the other players look a lot better. And you only need one of those around really good, strong, dynamic profiles. And unfortunately, we don't have that.
Mate, I agree.
Yeah.
And look, this isn't a bagging session on Hewitt, but
no, it's not. It's got nothing. No, it's nothing to do with that. No,
I think people need to accept the game has from a statistical point of view. I've been here since 2012 watching football. I haven't seen statistics absolutely change so dramatically in 3 weeks with the new rules. Like it is now scary, and all the teams now are cutting back on inside midfielders. And last year we talked about it in the draft. The best inside midfielders went incredibly late. Some not drafted at all. Ollie Greaves being a great example, absolutely dominated in all departments as a junior, ended up going in the rookie draft. So, and why list managers said the same thing about him. It can only play one position. And he needs to rest somewhere else, and he's not good enough yet. So you'll take a punt. So unfortunately, George Hewitt and Cripps are the same problem. You can't play them at halfback. You can't play them at half forward.
Yep.
So one of them's got to do this 100% of the time and effectively be the sacrificial lamb. And that's the big thing for me. You're not dropping Cripps because one thing Cripps can do is win ball all day. My issue I've got with Voss, Paul, and I'm sure you feel the same, is the problem is he goes to Cripps and Hewitt as his emergency and it instantly slows everything down.
Spot on. Yeah. But that's Voss's go-to. Contest. Win the ball. Okay, yeah, they win the ball. Then what?
And I feel sorry for George.
That's a chasm into our whole team, boys. Chasm into our whole team. Win the ball, then what?
Well, you see, I feel sorry for Hewitt because I don't think any other coach would have said, Hewitt, I've got an idea, tag Cozzy. Unless because I do know I do know on good sources that Beveridge does like a Pie and Palmer's. So Pie and Palmer's places always have a good TAB. So the only coach I could think of is maybe Bevo would do that if he put on a good TAB bet. And he was like, Pommy, I've got fucking Cozzy for 35 plus. I'd be like, move Hewitt on him. Oh,
could you imagine, right? Could you imagine putting Matt Kennedy on Cozzy Pickett?
I could.
I feel like this bloke was coaching us. Gunnosaurus.
I could. I could. It's not the best wank I've had, but I'd get through it. Atouche, here's your team, and tell you what, I do like the fact you've brought in a guy that spelt his name wrong in Liam Reedy. Take us through it.
Well, I guess we'll start there. Liam Reedy. I dropped Hutto. I just don't think if he's AFL ready, he's not AFL ready to play like the relief ruck role. Like he's just not there, bro. He got 3 touches against Max Gone. Like if he's on the field and not doing anything, not only are we losing a player, but we're also killing the kid's confidence. But can you imagine going out there getting 3 touches and getting pumped after your team loses after being 43 up at halftime? Like we're doing a disservice to a bunch of these kids, right? So I brought on Liam Reedy. I know he lost the actual ruck battle to Alec Murkoff, but he beat him around the ground, and we're playing against CCJ and Alec, and who's the other guy? Goad. Like I don't know who any of those guys are. And I've spoken.
Oh no,
not again.
Last week I warned you when you said Tom Sparrow. You've never fucking heard of him. Bro had a career best game. Do not make Goad Brody Grundy.
Just remember, Tush, they kicked 8 consecutive goals against us last year, and Jack Darling ran down Adam Cherry in the middle of the MCG.
You know, I'm well familiar with that tackle, Polo. Thank you for reminding me of that. Look, I mean, Liam Reedy, he moves well around the ground. I don't know why we played him for 1 week and then dropped him immediately. Like, I'm not sure why we did that with a lot of players. Like, I know people are going to say, no, I did it with Frankie Evans, but I wanted a taller forward line this week, which is why I brought in Moya for Evans. Like, it's not, I don't know. Like, and plus we played Frankie Evans in the weirdest position possible. He got 8 touches. He's playing
pocket.
Like why? Like, what's the point of having players like Frankie Evans, who's great with the ball, a great runner, great decision maker, and then you play him in the back pocket? Like, it goes back to what you were saying. Like, I don't want to just pick 23 players based on their names. Like, play them on position, play them what they're good at. Like I'm really confused with the direction of this team and Michael Voss. I fucking hate Michael Voss. Right, he's killing all of these players. So I've brought in Haynes and Newman. Right, Newman, we need Newman to lock up Paul Curtis. Right, because I was weighing up between him and Saad. Right, I don't trust Saad defensively. I think Newman's way better defensively, and he's also just as good with the ball. I heard something on this podcast, the Tradies podcast. Sam McClure said it. He said Carlton can't play Newman, Florent, and Saad in the same team because they're all just the same player. They all provide the exact same thing off the halfback line. And
that's
I agree
why
with that.
Don't listen to Sam McClure.
You don't agree with that?
No.
Nah?
No.
All right. Well, I think they're all pretty much the same player. And I think Saad needs to be phased out of this team anyways. I don't think he should be getting selected anymore with the halfback stock we have. And yeah, Moya, I know people were harping on Moya. I think he's just got natural talent. The discipline isn't there yet, like you said. Like, you know, I agree with you when you said you can't just bring him in because people are underperforming. He has to perform, but at the same time, he is a talent, and he is like probably only mid-sized forward that's actually good. Hayward's been fucking horrendous this year, and I was really, really, really looking at dropping him. I don't care that you're from Sydney. I don't care that you come from an elite culture. You haven't really done anything, right? This guy should be like outperforming Brody Kemp. But if you look at their goals, they have like the same stats. I dropped Brody Kemp this week, by the way, because I don't think he's a forward. Brody Kemp to me is a backman, and I don't know why we don't play him there. I think the forward experiment has been one of the worst thing Michael Voss has ever done, and that's saying a lot because this guy played Ollie Hollands in the back line, and he plays, like Frankie Evans. He played Ainsworth as a defensive wing. I saw this on Pommy's rating show. Look at Ainsworth heat map from last week. Defensive wing. But what are we doing? So
I've told you, I actually think Voss has got it in for me, and he's now he does the rating show as his own form of banter. He's just trying to kill me off.
Well, it is the comedy festival in Melbourne this time of year, gentlemen.
It's the only rational explanation I've got left. He's like, "Oh, that stupid pom cunt. You wait till he sees what I do this week." It's all he's got left. And fair play, he's doing a good job. He's winding me up.
I've also gone 3 tolls for this backline, Polo. I know you didn't agree with that, but have you seen North Melbourne's forward line? Like, they've got 3 good tolls. They got a 3-headed monster. They got Dersma, they got Trembath, and they got Larkey. Now, Wiedung's going to go to Larkey, and that'll probably be an even battle. But if fucking Lewis Young goes to Trembath or Zane Dersma, they're going to kick 5 goals each. So that's why I got Dirksen in the side as well. So hopefully they can rotate a bit.
Larkey will have 12 set shots anyway. So.
Big shout out to Marge, who's joined the crew. Thank you very much, my lovely. You are fantastic.
Well done.
I want to run this by everyone because I've noticed you've brought in a second ruck, right? And I want to give Johnny Holden a shout out here. All right. So, a good friend of mine working at another football club at the minute, we discussed this in the off-season over golf about he was of the school that 2 ruckmen won't die. And everyone was saying they were. He was like, with the 5th man on the bench, you'll start to see big ruckmen will still be valid because the ball's going to live on the deck, but you're going to have an agile ruckman to cope. But we did discuss about midfielders doing it. Now, there is, I think it's about a 38% increase in ground balls at ruck contests, which would allude that midfielders could be the untapped meta. Now, I know it sounds stupid, but I think if you have a situation where Cripps is a 10% ruckman, we've seen loads of midfielders pinch it recently and different positions that haven't done it for a while. If you watch the juniors, do you know who the reserve ruckman is for the Bendigo Pioneers? It's our boy, Cody Walker, is the tap ruckman. So they do the same thing. When the ball hits the deck, Cody wins the ball. Is that an option? Like, Atush, would you hate that? I know we hated it 3 years ago, but the rules have changed. It just needs someone to win the ground ball.
It just seems to me like square pegs, round holes. Like, I'd rather, if we're going to play Cripps anywhere other than the middle, just throw them up forward. Like, you look at the best inside mids in the comp right now, because they're dying breed. They're not match winners anymore like they used to be a couple of years ago. Like, the best one in the league right now is probably Bont, and his biggest weapon is he gets the ball, yes, but he also goes forward and kicks goals. That's the next evolution.
He kicks goals, Atush. That's the bit.
Yes.
That's the bit.
Yeah.
Cripps can't kick goals. So he's in my team as a pinch hit ruckman, by the way, Pom, when we get to it. So
oh, really? I try not to look at your teams anymore, so everything's a surprise.
I love the theory that he...
Nope.
He's getting a call.
Cripps is calling him.
LekDog, he's getting a call. But what he was saying is, Pom, you are a genius and a very good-looking man. I will say this, though. I actually disagree with Lek. That's not his biggest weapon. His biggest weapon is that gorgeous chiseled jawline. He is a good-looking man, Bonapelli. Finish what you were saying, Lek. Sorry.
They're 2 completely different footballers, though. Their athletic profiles are just so much different. So much different.
But Paul, how many Brownlows has Bont won?
You know what I find funny about that? And I know it's not really part of this show.
Knew I'd bait him. I knew it.
But do you and I would assume that 99.9% of people in this particular, I would almost say in the AFL, despise umpires.
Yeah.
Would
Yes.
that be a fairly
Yeah.
valid statement?
Yeah,
I
I've
think
never
if
seen
an
anything
umpire
bad
makes
about
a
them.
bad decision, we should put their home address, phone number on the big screen.
Hung, drawn, and quartered, so to speak, there, LekDog. So we cannot stand umpires, right? But when players win an umpire elected award, we revel in it like it's something absolutely amazing. Which, I mean, fair enough. Some of the greatest players in the game have won the Brownlow medal, but I just find it quite ironic.
It's a fair point.
Fair point.
Yeah, and evidently we don't respect the Players' Player Award, which I would say is like the biggest one.
Far better. How many AFLPA awards have we had in the last 15 years?
Cripps won 1 or 2. Cripps
Matt
won 1 in
Murphy.
2019. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a player. Give me prime Mark Murphy. You know what I mean? Proper footballer's hair. Used to wear coloured shoes. Proper
So you reckon this Cripps Ruck scenarios? Anyway, I'm not going to steal your thunder, LekDog, if that's what you're going with. But
No.
if you're saying 38% ground ball get increased, Pommy, it's
I believe it was. I can't remember the exact number. I'm sure
why
it was
that
in
is
the
the case
30s,
now. I'd like to know if that is based purely, and I suppose you got to correlate it when something has changed in the rules, and numbers like that have spiked. That's clearly that they clearly correlate to a point.
Yeah. It's just something that, like I was saying, speaking to a coach, we were playing golf. He disagreed with everyone, and he's kind of been right. When he gave me that information in January, I was like, well, the media think you're an idiot. But when we've seen it in action, it isn't as sided to athletic ruckman as we thought, and teams are still playing big guys.
Yeah, how's Tom DeConing going?
Exactly. And what was January? Tom DeConing, Carlton have traded the best player in the league under the new rules.
I'm so fucking vindicated. It's so good.
Which I blame LekDog. But you know what? Good team, Atouche. And we're talking about Rucks. He's done it. He's done it. Actually, disappointed
tell me what's on the screen.
It's your team. So
is my team up?
Right,
okay.
Lex.
Oh no, he's gone again.
Lex doing a Michael Voss.
Am I
Lex doing a Michael Voss with wingers. He's just
hang
trying to fucking mug me off. I know where he lives.
I'm trying to see my own.
And on your screen now is your team. It's Dean, O'Keefe, Kemp, Cowan, Hewitt. Now, let me speak. Dean, O'Keefe, Kemp, Cowan, Hewitt in Newman, Haynes, Cherrett, Dirksen, Benjamin, James, Anthony, Camporelli.
Yes. Okay. So Dirksen's coming into my team every week until he's into the real team. He can also be a bit of a swingman, but I think he can come in and do what Dean's doing. Not 100% sure why I've still got Lewis Young in the team, but let's just move past that for the moment.
Is that because you're scared of Nick?
Yeah.
Well, I did think Nick would be on the show. That's part of it. Nick Newman, he's a better defender than a lot of our defenders. I think that he probably gets underrated in that space. And while we've missed his kicking, we've actually also missed the defensive side of his game as well. So I think he's a no-brainer to come in. Haynes comes in as well as that interceptor. So I'm probably a little bit too tall. I can probably admit that Lewis Young shouldn't be in there. I think my intention with this team, because I knew the question would come up, who's your backup ruck? And my intention was to say, well, let's keep Cripps engaged. He can do, it doesn't have to be a lot, but he can have a few hit-outs around the ground. It gives him a reason to wrestle other than being 10 goals down after leading by 40 points. He gets a bit of aggression out, and I'm with you, Pom. I think there's something there with not having ruckman always in the ruck, and historically I hate that opinion, but I'm shifting. Ben Camporelli comes in. He shares some of that midfield role. I agree with Paul that he needs to be sort of blooded to start to get that experience. And to be honest with you, the way we play, I never want to see Hewitt and Cripps in the same team. It's harsh, And I just don't think those two players can exist in the same team. And I don't give a shit how good they are in the first half. And all the commentary in the first half was how good Hewitt was. He won a BNF. How awesome is this? Cripps' best quarter since 2020 or whatever it was. I don't care because they can't sustain that throughout the game. So let's get some players with versatility in. Cherry comes in. I've got him at halfback to start. He's going to rotate. Wing, halfback, midfield. It really depends on his body, but he has to be in the team. And I can't remember what other changes I made. Like Kemp just out.
Ben Camporelli.
Shit. Yeah, Campo, he comes in, as I said, we need him to get some experience.
Like
and
it, LekDog. I like it.
I think we'll get more out of him than we do out of Hewitt. And we should beat up on this midfield. Like they're actually a better midfield than people think, but we should have the experience on this midfield. Although they've got LDU, they've got Sheeville
They've got
in
Parker
there,
as well.
Yeah,
Don't forget they are missing Jerry, who's a big impact on the way that they play. He's a big enforcer, gentlemen. That's a massive out for them output wise.
Yeah. And Pitto should have an opportunity to play 4 quarters of good football. Hopefully he can do it. I like Pitto, but like a lot of our players, he in and out as the team goes on, as the game goes on. So look, I don't really think we need to spend too long harping on the team. I don't think we've locked down our wingman. I do want Carroll. I want to continue with the Carroll thing on the wing. The most important thing for me structurally was Cripps and Hewitt not being in the same team.
Yeah. Love it. $5 from our friend Daffy Duck, who is trying to ruffle feathers. Tell Cripps to quack off. Clever with your name. Need a leader as a captain. Yeah, you know what? Like, I want to say this, right? I just want to go on record here. I might be in the minority. I actually think Cripps still can play today's game. And I look at all the players, the players that play his role are thriving because they move it to the outside. I think the issue is Cripps is having to handball to Pitternet, Ollie Hollands, or Hewitt, where all the other teams are handballing to their lightweight outside players.
Jagger Smith.
Yep.
Yeah, I think in reality, if Cripps is getting the ball on average 15 times from first possession, if he was 15 times handballing that to Jagger or Walsh, we'd be okay. The problem is he's handballing it to people who are slower than him. So everyone's blaming Cripps. I think in reality, every other coach would be like, flood them with as quicker as we can, even though we haven't got any foot speed, but the quickest players we can, and just say, get the ball out 20, 30 times. They'll do the rest. You just do that, brother, and we love you. But look at Taranto at Richmond. That's all he does now. Get the ball out, give it to Law. Get the ball out, give it to a quick player. And suddenly Richmond fans like Taranto again.
Well, look at the way Melbourne... We'll look at the way Melbourne absolutely smashed us. Get the ball, give it to Cozzy. Get the ball, give it to Cozzy. Quick, fast, dynamic, direct.
They gave it to Sparrow as well, 31 times.
We have 2 players doing one player's job in this team week to week, and it's been an issue. It's been a potential issue the entire time, and we got away with it for a while, but we can't get away with it anymore. So,
Yep. Who's Atushi's mate? The bloke next door.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I thought that was one of your mates. Cause I was like, I was like, it's very pseudo erotic. I was like, Jesus.
To touch on your point, Pom, as well. I think Cripps can still play in this team. Like I think he can still be a great player, but he just can't be that match winner that we set him up to be anymore. Like the game's gone past that. Like he can be a distributor and he can get the ball out, sure, but he can't like kick 2-3 goals a game, have 35 touches. Like it's not in him anymore. And the game's not suited for that anymore.
He should be Trent Cotchin, right?
Yep.
You've had your 35 touch period. Now all we need is 20 touches. You give it to the other players. You are now the senior role player. And I kind of agree with Daffy. I think now it is Cripps' leadership time. Leadership time. Be the leader and sacrifice the stardom for the handover process. Like, and I felt the second half we saw that Cripps, and this is our fault. We have always told Cripps, you've got to take the game on and win it. and he did them 2 moments where he took the game on and got hold in the ball.
Great call. Took the words right out.
I don't think that's Cripps' fault. That is 12 years of always being told by Teague or Voss, it's individual brilliance wins the game, not system. He can't get out of that mindset, and that's where Michael Voss, I think, needs to pull into one side and say, our game winner's now a Jagger, Walsh. You've just got to be the guy, the silver platter guy. Enjoy retirement, make them stars, like Judd did you. Now it's your turn to be the proper up.
Yeah, spot on.
And I love Cripps, because I hate the bagging Cripps. It always makes me feel like we're bagging him. And look, I know it is. But just so you know, I actually spoke to Michael Voss an hour before the show, and he actually said, Pom, right, you can reveal the team. So this is actually Voss changes. So Voss has gone big. Dean out, hip/concussion. And he wants to go with experience this year. And he was like, Taylor Byrne was way too energetic and way too keen. So he's bringing back tried and trusted Fogarty. So cheers, Michael. I appreciate this exclusive. You can go and follow Michael as well. Hashtag Voss loves ball.
Chera's in as well, so there you go. From the
no, he didn't bring Chera, and he told me that he wants to give him another couple of days.
Oh, so he's misleading the opposition.
Yeah, he said that was a typo.
I like it. Okay. Right.
He said that was a typo, but there it is. But now we need to go to this screen. So now we get to pick it. So chat, I will give you the voting link in a second. We'll start with
Pommy. I'm going to jump out because I can't see the screen and it's too hard. I want to say goodbye now. I'm going to watch from YouTube and I'll comment. I'm jumping out though. You don't need to come to me for votes. Goodbye.
Okay, well, we'll start with Paul. And we'll say goodbye to LekDog. Everyone say goodbye because he's on his phone. He hasn't got internet at his place. So, chat, you will get 3 votes. So, Paul, who are you saving in the back line?
I will save... Nick Newman.
Newman returns. You love to see it. Mr. Atouche, a man of culture. Backman, who are you saving?
Because Nick isn't here and in honor because of Nick, I'm saving Lewis Young.
Is he a man of culture or a cultured man?
That's the question.
Also,
this guy in the chat's wigging me out. I don't know if I know him or not. The bloke next door. I'm also Matt Lang, Motlop Ruck. That's beautiful. Every single week, Matt Lang says it.
Motlop
he
Ruck.
said skibbity toilet, so there is no way. There's no way that a man of your level knows that.
Yeah, I'd hope not.
I am going to save. Oh, backline. It's like
save Frankie Evans from the back line.
Ben Ainsworth.
Back pocket, Tommy. Go. What do you mean?
It's sometimes like trying to have a choice between, a group of random people at freaking Rebs to sleep with your wife while you watch. Do you know what I mean? There's no good answer. There's no good answer. So, chat, you have got an option now to create save 3 people. I have sent the link. It should be in chat right now before your very eyes. And we will go to the live vote. So, Paul, look, this is what we have now. Look, we have
Love it. Yeah, little straw poll. We like this.
So we can see it coming in.
Yeah,
beautiful.
That
has come through to you as well, chat, hasn't it? The chat, you can see it. Lou, you've said no. You should be able to see it. Sometimes it doesn't. While Pom presses buttons, let's refresh that.
So, what's our time limit here, boys? What's our time frame?
Usually we give them a minute. Oh, here we are. Look, it's starting to go.
There you go.
Chat are here.
Here we go. They're coming now.
They are on the business. It's usually a little bit delayed. I can see 7 of you are making selections at the minute. So love that for you guys. It's slowly getting there. Make sure you do it serious as well, chat. Make sure you do. Boydie. You know what?
Change going on here.
Where is Boyd? Where is Boyd?
I don't know. Well, he was the held over emergency last week. against
Look
Melbourne.
at this.
Right, which would suggest
Dirksen flying
There
in.
we go.
Look at him.
Look at that. That definitely wasn't me on 2 different accounts.
Dirksen, my mate.
Wow,
my mate,
Dirksen, all right.
I'll give you
Sheesh.
one. Oh, there we are. So Dirksen, Haynes, Boyd. I'll give you one more chance. I'll refresh. There it is. Dirksen, Haynes, Boyd, chat. Well done. Tell you what, that is a vicious, almost dangerous backline there. But I'll bring us back on there. So we've got, who have I got? I've got Dirksen, Boyd, Haynes. Tell you what, someone just voted then and it absolutely threw me because it's changed the order. So Boyd, Haynes. Right, let's go midfielders. Who are we saving, Paul, as I upload these?
I just had a good laugh at Hunter's comment.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it serious. Meanwhile, Lewis Young is already on the team. Poor Youngie.
To be fair, though, if we're only picking one ruckman, it's all right.
What am I doing? Who am I saving? Another
Midfield.
Midfield. I am saving. I'm saving Ben Camperelli.
Oh.
Ooh.
I want to see him in there. I want to see something different in there because he doesn't have the scars of pressure, gentlemen. Doesn't have the scars of pressure. He'll play with some sort of freedom.
You know what? I don't hate it. Atouche, where are you going?
Put in Matt Carroll on the wing for my sins last week of not calling him a winger.
Told you he's very good, his old Matty C.
Full forward after that mark late in the game, just quietly.
You know what? I'm going to bring in
masterclass.
I'm going to bring in my main man, Jagger.
Yep.
Jags. We do love seeing a little bit of Jags recently. He is like one of the highlights of this season. So, chat, if you go to the new poll, the link should show up there now. You can vote on midfielders. There you are, chat. So,
Cool.
I'll give you a few times. What would you expect? Do you reckon we'll see a Ben Camperelli debut soon?
Not a chance. Not a fucking chance.
My gut feel says no, but I'd like to see it, obviously.
There you are. So there you are. Make sure you hit the like and let's see what you've got. Chera coming back. Does anyone else feel like Chera is suffering from the Patrick Cripps syndrome? That everyone is kind of just downplaying what Adam Chera is?
Maybe. You'll make our midfield look better. And people will say, "Oh, but Paul, you say he's not one of our best midfielders and whatnot." I don't think he's one of our best midfielders, but he will make us better. My concern is just looking at it from a list perspective. I don't think he's worth what we gave up for him. And Pommy, you know how adamant we were about that.
I agree.
This came to pass. You and I were championing that. Remember, we faced a swath against us.
I still can't believe people used to argue with me and said he was class.
Right. So
no one can define class, though.
Yeah,
but
he is. This is what I'll say. He's a better footballer than George Stewart as a midfielder, right? However, what we gave up for him and what we are currently giving up for him and what we will continue giving up for him, for me, just it's hard for me to really get on board.
Do you reckon he's just like a staple of our midfield over the next 8 years, or
No,
however long he's with us? No.
Adam Chera.
Adam Chera, yeah.
Absolutely.
You reckon when do you think he'll be pushed out, or when do you think we get rid of him?
End of this year.
Fuck, really?
Yeah, trade bait.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've always been the same with Chera. I'm like he's okay. He's getting progressively worse and worse the longer he's been at our club, and he's just like Mr. 5 out of 10 now. But when he first came, he was good. Like he was a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, but that's when everybody was flying back then.
True.
Like the game, and Pommy, you said it then, and I was saying this during the preseason. The game has changed it's a completely different game to 2023 now.
Yeah, but I think that's why I just feel like people haven't watched football when they don't want Chera in the team, because for me now, you've got to play him because
yeah, absolutely.
he plays.
Yeah.
I actually think it's helped him that he can play three or four positions.
Yeah, and now I think just the way we're playing and the midfield mix we have at the moment, he brings a bit more balance to the midfield, at least defensively anyway.
But I agree with you. I mean, look, I questioned Nick Austin the last 12 months because I don't understand why he's got 4 years. Like
5 it was.
Yeah, 5. Yes,
5.
he's what it was, so like for me, I just think, wow. Like that's how my brain works. Like I think that some of these contract re-signings, I don't think are real.
Well, you and I were stunned when we gave up the pick for him that we did, right? And you and I, who were we big on pushing during that draft, Pommy? Little Italian fella out at Adelaide.
Yes, Josh Rochelle wouldn't be so bad, would he?
Imagine a midfield coming into next season of Walker, Walsh, Smith, and Rochelle.
I know he's an Arsenal fan, but you can't have it all, can you? Yeah, I mean, but where we are, we're on forwards. Talk to me about forwards, Paul.
I will save. I know he copped a bit of a bad rap, but I'm willing to give him another opportunity, just given there's going to be a fair bit of change to the team, and I think it will make us look a bit better and give this man the freedom to do what we saw him do at Sydney, and that is Will Hayward.
The Hay Dog. You know what with Will Hayward, and this sounds really harsh, but what we've seen of Will Hayward, I think Tatum made the best comment. What is killing me at the moment with Hayward is he was the most vocal in the 2 training sessions I attended. The twat never shut up. And I don't know what's happened in season, but he doesn't look like he's that vocal on the ground. But I remember he turned me on because it was Walsh who kicked to him and it was a shit kick. And he absolutely tore him apart. And I was like, oh, okay, here he is. Here's the main man. Like, this is going to make us better. He's having a go at the vice captain. And so far in season, he's told one of the shittest jokes I've ever seen at an event, which I still don't get at all.
It was a joke.
He made some reference to cans, and because they've got that drinking software, and like he basically made an allusion that basically Ollie Florent wants to be Bailey Smith, but like the joke tanked. It's about that funny, I've told you. Like the entire room did that pity laugh. Yeah, like and you could see Ollie Florent was like, Jesus, I wish I was knee deep in some fat at the minute. like you could see it was one of them jokes that, like, do you know what I mean? You're like, fuck, I wish I was drunk. What are you doing to me, kid?
Oh.
You didn't drop Hayward a tush. You were close to, though, weren't you?
I was very close to.
Okay, right, okay.
But I think people have never watched him at Sydney. This is what he did at Sydney. I know he'll kick 6 goals one game, and we'll be all right. But
Hayward might be against Collingwood in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but in reality, that's what he's paid to do.
Yeah.
He's meant to be the game changer when you need him. He's not meant to be a consistent 4-quarter player. He never has been. So I think you're an idiot if you think he was going to be brilliant every game. Ben Ainsworth's that guy, though. Like, Ben Ainsworth is the guy I expect to be consistent every week. Hayward, I know he's going to ghost for 2 weeks and then pull a badger out of his ass.
It doesn't help when Ainsworth, he's played.
Yeah, it doesn't help when Ainsworth is getting phone numbers on the wing at the MCG. Like, does it? Atouche, forwards. Who are we doing?
Yeah, I'm thinking between either Flynn Young or Ison, but I'm going to go Flynn Young.
The main man, he's been exceptional. You know what I'm going to do? Right, tell you what, Taylor Byrne, anyone who can put Max Gordon on his ass,
Yeah.
Right, and then also do a shepherd for Ainsworth's goal as well. I've never seen I didn't know Carlton knew you could shepherd until I saw Taylor Byrne. Absolutely froth him. Absolutely froth Mr. Frankenbeans. He's one of my favourite
I'll
players.
tell you what I loved about him was the phone call he made to his dad and his mother when it got announced that he was debuting. He's got on the phone to mum and been like, "Yeah, I'm playing. Yeah, yep, right, yep." Then he calls the old man and the old man's, "Yep, well done. Yeah, righto, I'll see you on Sunday. Yep, yep.
Yeah, it's gorgeous,
play your role,
isn't it? Like,
play your role, head over it." I'm like, thank you. Perfect. Perfect.
yeah, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. So I love seeing him. Chat, here you are. You've got 3 forwards. Tatum, you know what, Tatum, right? I'm never one of these people. You know me. I'm not that type of content creator that like will post, "I said this, I'm a genius." But the amount of heat I caught from Carlton fans when I said, at best, I have us 10th to 14th, and it's the back end of 10 to 14. And the heat I caught, nah, too low. And genuinely, I have to resist every day just replying to them comments going, really? Like, I actually think 14th was too high now. I think I must have had the energy drinks when I wrote the script for that video. But it's it's a bad day in Bosnia, let's be honest. So let's have a look at what you've done in the forward line. Can I just say, do not drop McKay, chat.
Please do. That'd be funny as. Chat, you have the chance to do the funniest thing ever. Drop him.
Can I just say as well, there is a guy, I'm not going to
Come
name
on.
you, but every day last year, the off season, I was copping hate for my Elijah Hollands love. And I'm not going to call it out. I'm just going to let you know that I know that you know that you're a knobhead. But absolutely peppered me. Made some comments as well about my beautiful wife as well, saying that if you've got that kind of naivety, maybe your wife is playing away, just let it slide. Let it slide. Because he said Elijah Hollands will continuously let me down and won't ever be in our top 10 players when he plays. You know what? Have a bit of that, dickhead. Elijah, good boy. Good boy, mate. You keep it up, son.
He was
Love you.
sensational on Sunday.
Love you, Lidge. Love you. I know you watch this show as well. I know you'll come across it. Fucking love you, mate. But there you are. Look, you've saved him. Lidgy.
Well done.
Hey, you are the best player in our team. Love Elijah. Can I just say as well, how good was it that he was probably one of the few who actually showed any signs of improvement this week when he was horrible the last couple of games? Like, bravery. Tell you what, we've got to work out how we manufacture a forward here, chat. Because you picked Ainsworth. You know what? We'll tidy it up when you pick your bench, chat. But who do I need? I need Benny Ainsworth. But here we are. Look, I'm giving you flashbacks to Michael Voss naming a team. Are they where he puts someone in the wrong player, the wrong thing? Hey, Tatum, mate, people give me, look, I get some personal stuff and I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Like, look, I mean, I thought it was quite funny that you think Mrs. Pom goes out of the house to cheat on me. That was the bit that I found funny because I wish you'd take me out of the house with me as well. But
Is it,
Paul,
just on McGovern, is it? I don't want to say it's. I don't want to be all doomsday about it, but is it a blight and an indictment that Mitch McGovern, who was almost not on our list this year, is our best forward?
Yeah, 100%. That's how you know we're doing it hard. That's like I've said it before. We have the worst forward line, or one of the worst forward lines in the comp. That's how you know we delisted Mitch McGovern last year, didn't we?
Well, it was about to be until we realised we couldn't.
Yeah, it was because we realised that we offered him like a 2-year extension on 1.9 million.
So like,
because that's what we do here at Carlton.
We're going to offer him a 5-year contract extension too. He'll be our next forward. Watch, at the end of this year.
So what am I doing? I'm saving a bench player, am I?
You know, on your question on McGovern, you know what I think that is? And I want to give a shout out to my main man, Bo McMillan. Love you, brother. But he asked about Buku Kamis. What scares me, mate, is I don't think anyone realises this. Buku Karmis would be playing forward. There is no way he was a backman for Carlton. Like, look at our list makeup. We signed Buku on the back end of the fact that they were training him forward at doggies. So 1000%, when everyone goes, wish we had Buku, he ain't playing in the back line. It would be Lewis Young. He'd be playing forward. And
Really?
he was
You think that's the
McGovern's
case?
replacement.
Is that what you think would have been the case, or is that?
I know, because it was basically McGovern was signed because Buku fell through, and McGovern. That was the first day of training. McGovern's training with the forward group now. He's no longer a backman. We've got the depth.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I think people are high if they think that's what happened.
Right. Okay. And actually, when you consider the fact that Charlie Curnow requested a trade,
yeah,
we needed another tall forward, didn't we?
Yeah. So there's no way Buku was playing third.
Actually, yeah, there you go. It was hiding in plain sight there, Pommy.
I think people are mental when they're like, look at how good he is. I'm like, yeah, he'd be playing forward and you'd all hate him. Like, this reality doesn't exist if we'd signed him.
It's a great call, Pommy. It's a great call, actually, because I actually didn't think of it that way, but now that you've said that,
well,
you're
if people don't
spot
believe
on.
me, Ollie Hollands is currently playing back pocket. Like, so before anyone goes, nah, Pom, he'd play back. Would he? I don't think he would.
So I'm saving a bench player here.
Yeah.
I'll save. I got to give him love. I'll save Ollie.
Tell you what, how roles are reversed. I used to tell Paul off when he used to say that Ollie needed to go to VFL to learn skills, and I'd save him. And here's me dropping him this week. I shot him.
You told me he needed to learn skills.
Ollie.
Mate, I've always thought he's been a good kick. I've copped pelters because I say he's...
No, I mean, but you went through that page when he had that rough patch where you dropped him a couple of weeks and said he needs time out of the limelight.
Oh, yes.
And I used to fall out with you. And be like, no, we can save him. And now I'm like, nah, kill him. I've taken him out the back, said, come here, Ollie. Look at the river. I've just shot him. And he's like, I just wanted to pet him, Pommy. And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Atouche.
I've just lost my hand as well. It's just been blown off.
I am saving Datum Chera.
Chesney.
I like it. Yeah.
Oh God. Well, we've got Young as our backup rug. It would be a miss of me. Oh, do I? No. I'm going to save
Mitch. Yep.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch McBuku Karmis. Because that's basically who he is, chat. That's who he is. Yeah, so that's my Pom theory for those out there. It genuinely is. Genuinely, I know you all want Buku, so do I, but he wouldn't be the Buku that we see.
No.
And I also know everyone would be like, wasted big 40 on him. Have you seen what Taylor Burns doing at the Dogs? Genuinely, that would be the conversation we would be having. I can't prove it to you, but it is. There you are, chat. Need two players to finish your subs. So remember, we'll probably do a... You know what, in this lineup, and I can see our main man here. Good day to you, Big Reese. Reese fuming is young Reese that Lewis Young's in there. But we do need a backup ruckman, mate.
Also, Lewis Young defensively isn't that bad. Like, I don't like Lewis Young, but defensively...
you changed the touche.
Bro,
defensively... Young watches this show. Yeah, you're there now.
I'll say it now. With the ball, he's one of the worst. Like, watching him with the ball gives me anxiety. I have grey hair at the top of my head because of Lewis Young, all right? I swear it's because of him. But defensively, one-on-one, he's not that bad. Like, he's not the worst. Like, I put my onus on Wiedering not really being a leader of that backline on why Lewis Young is shit. Like, I blame Wiedering that Tom Lynch had 10 shots on goal.
Can I just
Lewis
say
Young.
what you've done, right, a long time ago in another lifetime when I was less of a nice guy? I witnessed my mate sleep with my girlfriend at the time's best friend, and he was engaged, right? And I
Yeah.
witnessed him have this same conversation saying, honestly, babe, there was no girls there that night. Didn't I, Dan? I was with you the entire night. And that's what he did when he lied. Your face, when you were telling me Lewis Young is an excellent one-on-one defender, I'm here going, there's no way he believes that.
He's
I
not an
really
ex.
hope she does, though, because I don't want to be thrown under the bus.
I didn't say he's excellent. I said defensively he's not that bad. I think Lewis Young has a ceiling, and we expect too much of him. Like he's always going to be a C grade player.
I couldn't agree more. He is a 6 out of 10 footballer, and
Yeah.
anyone judging him as if he's Brendan Goddard 2.0 is the fool. He is a 5.5 out of 10, and that's what you expect. Exactly,
I am
Tate.
adamant, though. We need to implement a fine process that every time we go short to him in the pocket and then he goes long up the line, the person who gave the ball to him should be fined.
Yeah, can I just say? Can I just say? And I said this in my rating show.
Should be fined.
How the fuck Wiedering gets away with handball into him twice?
That's what I mean.
Pommy, the one where Wiedering was the spare out the back of the contest at full back. He had 10 seconds of time. He turned to Lewis Young and then handballed it to him.
And you know
right
what?
in front of
Look,
me.
Jacob had the audacity to have a go at him, and I'm like, Jacob, you see him kick every fucking day at training. Like, what did you think was going to happen? It's like leaving your missus with fucking Andrew Tate and then being shocked she's cheated on you. I mean, like, I can't believe that happened. Jesus. Stop getting me angry, Paul. Right? Can't do it anymore. But you know what, though, Bo? I'll say this. Lewis Young, right? Lewis Young, you've got to remember, was probably their best player when Dogs made the finals when he came in late, right? And Beveridge gave him the hugest pep-up, saying it's a shame that we have to drop him for the experience because Keith came back and stuff like that, but he gave Lewis Young a shout. So Lewis Young is that standard of player that he's your 24th best player on the list. 25th. He just does his job, though. Like, but you're not expecting him to be in the coaches' votes.
No. I thought he was admirable without being amazing on the weekend.
Yeah. See, I agree here with our mate Wayne. Like, if Lewis Young is in your top 1,000 issues at Carlton.
I'll tell you who he is, Pommy. Do you remember when Arsenal had to revert to Rob Holding late in the season when William Saliba came out and the defence just capitulated to a certain point? That's what it is at the moment. He's like Rob Holding. Solid player, solid mid-tier, mid-table player, not cut out for the elites, and that's him.
Look, I said it in the ratings when Scott Pendlebury went back against Adelaide. He never, ever fucking handballed to Billy Frampton. And there's a reason for that. Because Billy Frampton has got the kicking of a minefield survivor. So what did Pendlebury do? He took the kick on. He showed leadership. He was like, I do this. Like, I reckon Fly would have chewed Pendlebury out if Pendlebury had handballed to Frampton and Frampton had chewed it up. He would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're down there for a reason. I agree with this. Nick, Wiedering used... I stand by this, and this is a pomspiracy. You ready? Everyone wanks off Darcy Moore, and I agree. Darcy Moore is one of the best attacking defenders in the league, and the reason he gets shit now, he's lost Nathan Murphy, who did all the hard stuff so he could play loose. Wiedering is as good an attacking defensive player, but playing for Carlton, he's also Carlton's best defender. I don't know what's happened to Wiedering that he doesn't take that kick on anymore. Now we've got him support.
Beautiful
like,
user.
It's almost like he's scared to do it.
He's a beautiful kick of the ball.
Do you remember when he used to play with Liam Jones and we used to have these things of, Liam Jones needs to take a back seat now. Wiedering's got his number on the kicking. And now he just doesn't do it, Paul. It's like now we have trained it out of him that you are the fullback, you are the lockdown. Doesn't matter who we've got. Like, and I actually feel for him because I want him. I think Lewis is good enough just to stand there with a big guy. Jacob peels off, intercepts, sets up play. It's like we've killed it out of him, and it pisses me off because I think every other team would play him as the interceptor.
That's why I wasn't too when Carlton in the first round against Richmond left Young on Lynch. For me, and I know Lynch to a certain point did do over Lewis Young, but I was actually happy to see Wiedering as the bloke off their big gorilla. But the problem was, Pommy, it was what was happening further up the field. We're getting obliterated after those first and second waves, which it's always the case when we go into our shells, unfortunately.
Mate, I agree. And but you look, I said this on ratings. I don't want to bore anyone, but I said it. It was amazing in the first quarter, Paul. Everyone was trying to get 35 touches. Yeah. I saw Lockie Cowan handball to Ollie, run ahead of him and end up at half forward when we kicked our 5th goal. But when we were under the shit, no one wanted to jump in front of everyone.
No one. That is training fundamentals and training mentality and training patterns. So if it's not happening late in game and under pressure, then they're not teaching it, Pommy.
Right, here you are, chat. Look, I'm with you. I'd love to know if we do game situation management.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do, but they're not doing it for long enough or not doing it. They're not doing it under duress or under pressure for long enough.
Well, chat, I've rejigged the team so it looks aesthetically pleasing, right? But there is the team. So out of that team comes Harry Dean, Lockie Cowan, Campbell Chesser. Can't believe we've dropped my mate, Frankie. But in comes Jordan Boyd for his season debut. We've also got Nick Haynes back, Mr. Reliable. We've also got, who else? Ben Camporelli for debut. And Flynn Young with Durka. You know what? I actually don't hate that team.
Solid.
Paul, do you hate that team?
No, not at all. I mean, the only player I'd want in is Evans. But outside of that, yeah, I'd probably want Evans and Sard in, but
that's probably there. Look, that would probably be how the boys would line up first BAMs, wouldn't it?
And Jack Ison showed some really, really nice glimmers in the VFL on Sunday as well, and he is one of the lads that was really, really intrigued to see develop. About a year or two ago, when I sort of caught an eye on him back in one of those pre-seasons, so one to definitely keep an eye on moving forward this year is Jack Ison. He's gotten bigger. He's a tough bugger as well, and he's a lovely user of the ball. Beautiful set shot as well. Really punches through the ball too.
I will say this. I'm very impressed with how much he's applied himself defensively in the VFL as well. That was my bugbear in juniors. So it's nice to see he's actively trying to improve that avenue of his game as well, which is why I picked him over Ashton, because that's Ashton has changed since his draft year for me is his Fortnite skins.
He's a DJ now too.
Is he?
You missed that out. Yeah, on TikTok. He's DJing. Anything but playing like good football.
That's what all these players do. Is he playing a game of can I be good at anything but the thing I'm paid to do? He's a wider. Well, anyway, chat, thank you very much for joining us today. Here you are. If you go to X and go to Paul is doing everything. But Paul, what are you doing, mate?
Well, I'm doing some. It's funny. The one time I actually turned it into an article, I got the verdict wrong, which was the Carlton Melbourne game, unfortunately. So there may have been. I think the case I made for the Blues over Melbourne was valid to a certain point, but I'm doing some articles each week on my game of the round. So it's not just Carlton. I'm going to pick the game that I think is going to be the best to analyze every week. So I'll be doing some Twitter/X articles, some tactical analysis, bit of analytics in that, trying to keep it very simple. I don't want to make it overly confusing for people out there to read. And I did a little bit of it on X earlier in the year. So I picked out the first 4 games and tried to analyze them as best as I could and as simple as I could for people to really, really understand. And they were met with a bit of success, which was great. So I'll be doing articles on one game a week that I pick that I think will be the best to analyze. This week it's going to be Adelaide versus Fremantle. So keep an eye out for that. I think that's one of the more intriguing games we're going to see early in this year. And then just a whole heap of work effectively. And
are you doing anything for the World Cup? Are they flying you over to the States, Paul?
No. I'm needed with other things there at the minute, but we will be having a call team over in America to call all the Socceroos matches, which is fantastic. And then we will be doing one other game per day for the World Cup. So that schedule will come out very, very soon as well. Unfortunately, the Italians got knocked out, but it's great to see the Socceroos in there, which will be a lot of fun. And Untitled Blues podcast as well. That'll do the rounds every week. And I hope that I'll be back in London. Actually, no, not I hope. I will be back in London in May to celebrate Arsenal winning the Premier League.
And our friend Matt wants to know our opinion on De Zerbi.
Probably the worst manager to get in a relegation zone, I'd have thought.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you would have thought you just gone Big Harry. Bring Harry back.
They are a club in absolute turmoil at the moment, and it comes as no shock that the moment Michael Voss ventured his way into Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that it has gone nothing but downhill for his tenure and nothing but downhill for our football club. I must admit their stadium is immaculate. I had the privilege of being there during the back end of February, and the football, unfortunately, does not match the world-class facilities. And
we
they'll
need
probably
to do
be
some
they'll probably be 45+ games in the championship next season.
We need to do some data on that. Voss appearing at Spurs and then their win-loss ratio post it.
I'll go find you the date and I'll do that for you now, Pommy. How's that?
I can't wait. If it is, we've cracked the code. Voss has cursed us all. But Atouche, I'm going to put in here, your video's about to premiere.
Yep.
If they go and see there, you are speaking to people. But what are you doing over on your channel this week?
So I'm not doing as many things as Polo. It's hard to top that. But I've got like you said, I've got a video premiere now. It's the game day vlog from the Melbourne game. If you want to see me act like a fucking idiot, get way ahead of myself at halftime, you can go do that. I've also got a live at 9:00 tonight with Further North, Josh. We're going to do a preview of the Good Friday game, that godforsaken game, and also hopefully on the Saturday or Sunday, you'll see a game day vlog of the Good Friday game as well.
Go and see that. Josh is a good lad as well. He's a barber. So
that's right.
I found the win-loss record, boys.
Oh, go on.
So Voss went over there in the 24-25 off-season, right? So last season we went 9-14, and this season we're 1-2. So that makes it 10-16.
I'd love to know how Spurs went as well, because I'm from memory, Ange was going pretty well before Voss turned up. Like, do you know what I mean? People were talking about he was going to lead them to the promised land, and it all went downhill in the league. Maybe it's Voss. Like, maybe Ange stupidly said to Voss, "Do you want to just give them some pointers?" And
mate, Roy Hodgson's come back into management. He was with Roy Hodgson at that game. I tell you what is going on in this world? What is going on, mate?
Oh, you know what? I do actually laugh that Michael Voss has done one thing. If he's broken Spurs completely, what a fucking hero! What a fucking hero! I rate that. Thank God he didn't come to United. Fucking Jesus, but no, well done. What have I got for the rest of the week? I'm not doing a preview this week, just purely because I've got like 5 minutes to scratch my ass. But I am live tomorrow. I am live for the Carlton game. There will be a review. We're live for the Monday game, so I've got something extra special, 2 extra special videos over the weekend for you. So Saturday, Sunday, you won't have me live, but you'll have me live tomorrow night for the selection show and then the game, and then 3 o'clock for the Carlton game. Saturday, Sunday off, but you've got some pre-recorded quality content that's a little bit different. So stay tuned for that. Love you all. Paul, great to have you back. Hopefully we can call upon you whenever we need you.
Yes, I will do my absolute best to sub in when need be. It's been an absolute pleasure to do it with you tonight. I think this is the first time you and I have been on a live stream together for this long a tush, which has been a lot of fun, and it's good to be back on this channel, Pommy. And it's been a very, very quality night with quality people talking. Not so much quality football at the moment, but hopefully that changes on Friday afternoon.
Well, we're going to win this week because Atush hasn't slagged off any North players. So.
They're all shit. LDU shit. Taylor Goad shit.
Okay.
CCJ is the worst ruckman I've ever seen in my life. Caleb Daniel is not a footballer. Baggers by 60.
I hate you, Atush. Chat. Love you all.
Mate,
love you all. See you next week, and be safe. Make